Now is the time in Things I Love when we talk about the fashion. Stay tuned. Today on Things I Love, we're talking all about this girl. She is about to be 21. Welcome to Things I Love. So glad that you're with us today. Today, we're talking all about this girl. Samantha, my eldest daughter, is about to be 21 years old, and today we're celebrating her. It's going to be next week, going to be 21. I know I'm excited. It's weird. You were, tiny not too long ago, but now you're got out to be 21. But we're going to talk about her today. But before that, if you are new to this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. We talk about all things Disney and Star Wars and Lego, and of course, family. Family's at the top of my Things I Love list. And we're so glad that you're with us today. Hit that thumb, give us a big thumbs up if you like this video, and then that bell to be notified of these weekly positive videos. So yeah, today we're talking all about Samantha. She hasn't said a word yet, but she can talk, I promise. She is all about fashion. And she hasn't always been there, but over the course of time, she has discovered that that is a love of hers and a passion of hers. And one thing I appreciate about passion for fashion, one thing I appreciate about Samantha is that she sees it as more than just clothes. Like there's a reason for it, and we're going to get into that today. And so why don't you just share with us a little bit about where you've come from, what you loved when you were a kid and growing up, because I still play with Star Wars and Lego because when I was a kid, and there's some things that you still play with that you did when you were a kid as well. So talk about that.
So we've got this behind us, which is kind of the elephant in the room here, the big red box. But this is an American Girl doll.
Yeah, we can bring it up here.
And this was what I was super interested in when I was little, and it slowly became like something that I could create with. It wasn't just a doll. I didn't really play with dolls like action figures or anything.
No, you played with Harumika? Was that what it's called?
Yes, I did play with that. So I was very interested in the clothes that the doll wore.
Can you explain to everybody what Harumika was?
Harumika was like a small mannequin that had a slit down the back of it, and you just took fabric and put it around it, and you could poke it into the slit in the back and make all different kinds of clothes. And so that was kind of where I started with making smaller size clothes, and then as I got older and I stopped playing with American Girl, I started making clothes for them because I have a younger sister that still played with them, and I didn't really grow out of it as quick. I just grew into a different phase of it, and I began to sew clothes for the dolls. So that was kind of that. And now I work for them, so.
So yeah, now she works for American Girl. And that's pretty cool. I mean, whenever we heard that she was thinking about doing that, I thought, that's a perfect fit. Because literally we had like 9 of these growing up, right?
Yes. and this is one that I got while working there, not when I was a kid.
So since she's been working there, tell them about that. You've won a few things.
Yeah, so, I mean, the company's great and reward you for hard work. So this was something I got as a reward for that.
And she even won a bowling alley.
Yes. Which immediately came out of the box for him to play.
Came out of the box, and we played some skee ball, basically, in the living room. Had fun with that. So American Girl has meant a lot to you over the years. And now that you're all grown up, talk about where you are now. So when you first started college, you went to...
Yeah, I started at a school in Franklin. It was then known as the O'Moore College of Design. And it was a small school. I think I started with, 13 people in my class.
Yeah. There was probably, maybe 60 in the whole school?
In the whole school, but in the fashion department there was only 13.
And 15. It was in an old mansion downtown Franklin. It was really cool. It was kind of like an artist colony kind of thing. It was just small.
Very creative atmosphere. But my sophomore year, it was the end of my freshman year.
All right.
We were all told, hey, we're packing up, we're moving to Belmont. Yeah, which at the time was not woohoo. It was more like, oh my gosh, I'm an artist, or I like to create, and I felt very at home in that small creative space, but now I'm at Belmont and I'm a junior, and it is now the O'Moore College of Architecture, Art, and Design, which is a really big deal.
So you're still technically at O'Moore. You're just at O'Moore at Belmont.
Yes, and it has afforded a lot of really good things. It's a bigger school, so you get a lot more opportunity than you did at a small school.
And last week or the week before, you got inducted into Alpha Chi.
Alpha Chi.
Which is the National Honor Society.
And I'm able to be on like student government and student advisory board, things like that my smaller school didn't really afford me.
Yeah, so Belmont's been good in the long run. So talk a little bit about where you see yourself going with fashion, because you know every little girl plays with dolls growing up, but not every little girl wants to continue kind of in that direction of dressing things up and things like that. And you're still going there. And where does that grown into with you?
Well, I'll start off saying that my biggest pet peeve, I think, is when people come into fashion school or they're thinking about fashion school and they're just like, oh, it's just drawing pretty dresses and like just doing that. And
which for me is still a lot because I can't draw anything.
And that can be fun and that's nice. But that's, not where my heart went when I began to grow into the fashion industry and learn what it was about. My senior year of high school, when we lived in New York, I was really debating what I wanted to do. I knew I either wanted to do fashion design or architectural design, and so that mathematical architectural design still holds a close place in my heart.
Yeah, you're very good at that.
So I like the technical side of design, which a lot of people in the fashion world kind of turn their nose up at, and it's like, it's just technology and whatever.
Which
but
I don't get that, because in this day and age, I mean, like, graphic designers are in need.
Yeah.
And technology is, a growing field with coding and everything, so it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you have a world full of people that just want to create. They just want to do the pretty part, and it's not all pretty, but even the parts that people don't think are pretty, I appreciate. Mm-hmm. So, and job security, yay!
Job security is a good thing.
Yeah. So basically, it's using things like Photoshop and Illustrator to create what we call flats. So they're two-dimensional looking drawings on the computer that are sent off to manufacturers for our company so that we can get things made and sent back to us. They're very technical. I mean, they're called technical designs, but everything has to be measured correctly and done that way. So.
Yeah, and we'll show you some of those images here on the show as well. So you had some stuff you wanted to show?
So this is, I can kind of talk about the process of a designer and kind of the process that you go through, because again, it's not just sewing things like this and that over there. It's a whole process of sales as well. So when you start off a design process, you have to start out with your customer, and you usually make some sort of visual to signify who your customer is. So in this specific class, I'm a junior now, we were given a customer, and mine was a maximalist, so someone that
wears a lot of everything.
Wears a lot of everything, likes color. She traveled, that was another thing. She worked as a journalist, so you have to take all of those things into consideration.
Which is like your sister.
Yes.
A journalist.
Yeah.
So that's what she's wanting to be. You can check out her video right up here. We did her birthday video a few weeks ago and talked about journalism and some of that.
Yeah. So this is a customer board. And on this one you can kind of see the aspects that I was talking about. You can see I've got all over the map. She travels a lot for her work. She lives in both Nashville and New York, going back and forth. You can see a person, like an image of a person. This is what we call a hero picture. So the biggest image. And then you've got, you can see that color is seen throughout the same like color palette.
Yeah, so like the door here
is the same color.
And this chair and
and we've got the taxi cabs that kind of match the yellow here. So it's just kind of starting if I were to go into a meeting and want to sell something, this is the start off of like, this is who I'm going to sell it to, and they can start to kind of see the vision. The next board is what we call a mood board. So it's exactly that. It's kind of the mood for the collection, what you're going to be seeing. You've got some like vintage kind of images with the typewriter and the glass here, and then you always have your swatches. So something I did different on this one was I don't have my color swatches. I had those on the other board, but you can see the colors running throughout, and because she liked different things, it's like all different types of fabrics and colors and textures. And then after you've done this one is when you move on to the illustration. So if you want to hold up one.
And this is something that I've really seen you grow in over the years is drawing these illustrations.
So.
Which actually looks a lot like Harumica, because Harumica didn't have faces either, did they?
No, and
Yeah.
I just finished another collection that was for children, and usually the way that you do your illustrations will reflect the customer as well as the mood that you're going for. So these don't have faces, but the children's designs that I just did had very detailed faces that looked like old storybook.
That's
so
true.
it just depends, and this was never
These are very detailed. I mean, like this
Yeah.
pantsuit here and all the flowers in that, and you got the sheer look here. We can still see the legs.
Yeah. So it's
through
very
that.
important
Yeah,
that
it's amazing.
when you're selling to someone that you show that. Like in this is supposed to be like a suede, so you use a different side of your pencil to get that kind of effect. It's just you're selling to someone what you want to design.
You and your sister are so artistic, and you got that from my mother, who is a wonderful artist. And I tried, and music became my art. But I mean, yeah, you've really grown in that. So tell us a little bit about these two pieces.
Okay.
You've made those this year for school.
We can talk about this one first. So, this was kind of the bane of my existence for a while. Turned out okay, but this is a knit fabric, so you can see that it like stretches away from the body, and it is very much different than a woven fabric. You have to use this machine, if you can see. I don't know if you can see
we can.
the serger.
Serger.
So what that is like uses 4 needles, and it allows the fabric to stretch. So when you're sewing something that's knit, it has to be able to pull with the fabric. So this was just...
It felt really great when I put it on, so, I'm just kidding.
So I've got like a green fabric underneath there with the white lace on top, and then the back, she can turn around, has the pearls all around the back of it.
It's really beautiful.
But yeah, I was designing, this one is for my knit class, and all of the garments I'm designing are kind of like a Grace Kelly, like French Riviera kind of.
Yeah, which she's
vibe.
always been classic, classic Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly and all that. I mean, literally since you were a little girl, you've always been drawn to that. I remember what birthday was it that you had the party where
They had an Audrey Hepburn party.
Yeah, and they made dresses out of trash bags.
Yeah, to make a little black dress.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what year was that?
I think that was in middle school.
It was a ways ago.
Because it was a Breakfast at Tiffany's party, and we had like we made the masks,
Yeah.
like that she sleeps in with the earplugs with the dangly things.
And one of the things that I love about being a dad is seeing my kids, grow up and grow into what God made them to be. And, you think when your kids are playing with their toys as children that they're just playing with toys.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't ever discount the fact that that can turn into something that they absolutely love and have a passion for. This piece is pretty close to my heart, and I know it is yours as well. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
So that is one garment in my junior collection. Yeah, you can show the inside if you want. So this collection is something that I pushed myself to do. I generally stick to women's wear, but this collection I decided to do a full 4-garment men's collection. It's a micro collection, but...
What does that mean, micro collection?
So when we do our
Very
senior
tiny
collection... well, when we do our senior collection, it's 8 full outfits. For this one, it's just 4 full outfits, since I'm a junior, so we do half what the seniors do. But this collection we were pushed to do something that is like a gap in the market. And the gap that I wanted to fill was older men specifically with disabilities, and I zoned in on Alzheimer's as well as like dementia or even ALS or MS would fall into the same kind of need. But I was inspired by that kind of thought because of my grandfather who has Alzheimer's, so I drew a lot of my like...
My dad.
Yeah. So I drew a lot of my images for my mood from his life. I wanted to create a collection that had like a Western kind of flair to it because he was a cattle rancher for a long time. But he also was a banker, so a lot of my stuff is like Western but with a classier kind of businessman vibe. Yeah. And then also all adapted so that someone with those disabilities can wear them. So all the shirts have fake buttons down the front and they're Velcro so that you can dress yourself. You don't have to do the fine motor skills. The shirt cuff has a magnetic closure. And then this one
so cool.
Specifically is a weighted vest. So similar to the idea of like a weighted blanket.
Yeah. I'm sure some of you are underneath your weighted blanket right now watching this video. so you understand. Yeah.
They've been shown to like have a very much of like a calming effect, to have weight on one's body, but that's not always feasible to like bring to work with you. You can't just like throw your weighted blanket over your shoulder and like walk up to work. So if you are a man that's like in the beginning stages of Alzheimer's or dementia or ALS, MS, a lot of that anxiety comes with that.
So I don't know if you can see this, but these each section here has weights in it.
Yeah.
But they're soft though. I mean, the whole thing is soft, so it's not gonna hurt you or anything like that. But it feels great when you wear it.
I've used a lot of wool and cotton to be like softer materials, as well as like colors that have been shown to give calming effects. Yeah. So lots of light blues and yellows.
So that's just one of my favorite outfits there, and can't wait to see that in the fashion show. I was going to be in it, pew pew, but I don't think they wanted me. So, but I just love seeing you grow up and into the young lady that God's made you to be, and to be able to use the stuff that you played with all those years. And working at the American Girl doll store, it's just kind of, it's cool as your dad to sit back and watch. And so, we here at Things I Love, we talk about all the stuff that I loved when I was a kid and I still love today, Disney and Star Wars and Lego. But family is such, is so high on my list, of things that I love. Here in a few weeks, your mom's birthday is coming up, and we're going to be in the studio in our kitchen. Because that's one of the things that she loves is baking. But why don't you check out this playlist up here, our family playlist, and just watch some of the videos of our family, because here at Things I Love, we talk about these things because they make us happy, but the whole idea is to get you to start thinking about what it is that you love, and that you can jump into something that you're passionate about. And so I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. What is it that you love? Are you into fashion? Are you into art and drawing like Samantha is? Drawings is what we like to call them. You don't remember Simon, do you? Hello, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. But we want you to discover what it is that you love. So let's talk about that a little bit in the comments down below, and wish Samantha a happy 21st birthday down there. And if you're new to this channel, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell to be notified of these weekly positive videos, and then give us a big thumbs up. It does really help us out here at our YouTube channel to grow and build this community and build this family. All right, well, that is it for today. My name is Mark Edington. I am your Parks pastor, and today we just wanted to share a little bit about Samantha to help you be more you. All right, are we gonna play with some American Girl doll? Oh,
sure.
Or wait a minute.
Bowling alley.
Now is the time in Things I Love when we dance. Ooh, bowling alley. That would be fun.